Right now, we're going to hear from our Metro Public Works Director, Vanessa Burns. She joined us some 7 or 8 years ago from up north. And so she never understood why we'd get excited about, 4 inches of snow here coming from up north, but she's gotten used to it now and she's got the snow team getting after it. Director Burns.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I do appreciate the support that you've given the snow team, not just this year, but in years past. The mayor said that we have been getting at it since last Sunday. It's hard to believe, but it's been a week and we've been constantly going. We have since the season started, over 19,000 staff hours. We have just in the last week, we actually treated the equivalent of 13,500 miles, because we treat about 2,700 miles per pass, and we did at least 5, in some places 6 passes. So that's how the number of miles that we've actually treated over the course of the last week. As the mayor said, we have plenty of salt. There is a picture, I think somewhere, of us taking salt out of the mega cavern. I think a lot of people don't know that the mega cavern has our supply of salt. That is what is not in our salt domes is down in the mega caverns. So since Friday, the roads division has been loading trucks out. We've had over 200 trucks that have been utilized to bring the salt, because we depleted quite a bit of it over the course of the last week, bringing it from the mega cavern to our above ground salt domes. So we will continue to do that. And as the mayor said, we have plenty of salt, but it has to get down from the mega cavern in order for us to be able to keep up. Now, the most important thing that I would want to say to everyone is to be patient. It's one thing if we are spreading salt and just spreading salt, the amount of time it takes to do that route. But now that we're talking, according to John, a serious accumulation of snow, what that means is we're going to have to plow. If we have to plow, it takes 6.5 to 7 hours to plow each one of the routes. So we just would like people to just be patient, because it's going to take a while. We could be in the middle of a route and all of a sudden that thunderstorm snow that John is talking about starts coming down at the rate of about an inch an hour, then we got to start over again. So we're asking people to please be patient, because all we can do is get at it using 12-hour shifts and just keep on going till we are safe. The other issue that we need to remember also is that the rain and drizzle, if it does get there, we might have to stop and do some other treatments. The other thing I'd also like people to understand is that Jefferson County is a huge county. We have over 5,000 miles. We only treat 2,700 miles, but there could be different weather patterns from different parts of the county. So we may be dealing with it differently. So we just want people to be patient. We will get at it. We have a great snow team, and men and women, and we just appreciate it. And I'd also, like the mayor said, the fleas and our administrative people that are dispatchers, they're all on 12-hour shifts. So we just want to thank everyone for being patient and giving us an opportunity to do it as safely as we can.
Thank you, Director Burns. Appreciate that, and everybody on the snow team. Now, everybody can follow the progress of the snow team using our snow route map. Just go to louisvilleky.gov and you'll be able to see the progress of the snow removal. All right. Also, a reminder, we've been getting a lot of calls on sidewalks, and people are expecting the city to show up to clear the sidewalks. That's not how it works. Cleaning the sidewalk is the responsibility of the homeowner or the business owner. So please keep your sidewalks clear so they can be safe for passage. And if they're not clear, as I said, today will be a good day to get out and clear your sidewalk, because it's going to be, you'll have snow and more ice on top of the ice that's already there if you haven't done it. So if you're looking for a little exercise this afternoon, get out there and clear your sidewalk off, please. All right. Now, if this weather materializes like we think it's going to, I'm asking everybody, please stay home and avoid traveling. unless it's absolutely necessary for food, medicine, medical care, or work. We've been given that advice because of the pandemic, but you put the pandemic and this bad weather on top of it, it's even more reason to do so, because we want to keep the roads clear in the initial phases of these storms so that our snow team can remove the snow and ice. So you can help us do that. Also, employers, I'm asking you to give your employees as much flexibility as you can, including the opportunity to work from home if possible. Again, just like during the pandemic, we just know the fewer the cars on the road, especially while snow or freezing rain is falling, the fewer potential accidents. And if you're like me, you don't like to be behind one of the plows anyway, or have a plow come by you. That never feels safe. So you can control that by being out of the way. All right, we're looking at multiple waves of winter, but we'll keep at it for however long is required. We want to keep everybody safe. And now I'd like to bring in our Director of Metro Emergency Services, Jody Myman, to talk about safety in winter weather. Jody?
All right, thanks, Mayor. Mayor brought up a good point as well about, even shoveling your driveways and things. Try to get that ice off your driveway today, because it's going to make it really hard to shovel that snow off when it comes in this week. One of the biggest things is stay informed. Make sure you listen to your local news, social media, to get the up-to-date information on this storm. I can't encourage you enough, whether you're sitting listening to this press conference from home or the media, please help us get this word out. Go to louisvilleky.gov and set up for LENS Alert, Louisville Emergency Notification System. If you don't know what that is, that's for you to get up-to-date information from us in our 911 communication center. Download the app, Smart 911. When you go into that app, set your safety profile up. When you set that safety profile up, if you have to call 911, your safety profile automatically pops up on our 911 call takers screens, and it eliminates a lot of precious time potentially if you're in a serious situation. So please go in, again, download that Smart 911 app and join LENS Alert for up-to-date emergency notifications. And also checking with your utilities to see potential power outages. This could pose that threat as well with this storm. If you have to get out and drive, again, we're encouraging people, unless it's a necessity. If you have to get out and drive, slow down. Make sure you give yourself proper time. Make sure you're clearing off the ice and snow off of your vehicle so that it doesn't fly up and potentially cause something bad to happen, with some vehicle that could be traveling behind you. Keep ample distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. We don't want to have anything like happened down in Texas, that horrible accident that happened down there with the ice storm last week. Let somebody know where you're going, the route of travel that you're taking, so that they may be able to follow and call you. Make sure you're charging your devices up before you go, your cell phone, so that in case you get in trouble, you can call and call for help if you need it. And then make sure that you have a full tank of gas as well, and stock up on your emergency kit for your car. If you get stuck in a storm or in your vehicle, make sure that you're taking the proper precautions to keep yourself safe. Watch your fuel gauge and things like that. Call 911 or somebody to come and help you. Crack your window just a little bit so that carbon monoxide doesn't form inside of your car from your vehicle running. Stay inside your house during the storm as much as you can. I know a lot of people are going to get out. Make sure you're taking the proper precautions to dress warm. This is going to be a very cold event. If you're shoveling your driveway, you saw some of the tips on the slide just a second ago. Make sure you're taking your time when you are shoveling your driveway, so that you don't exert yourself in a way that could potentially cause a heart attack. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. If you're heating your home with fireplaces, wood stoves, space heaters, or anything to that nature, make sure you're using them in the proper manner and with proper ventilation as well. If you do have to go outside, like I mentioned the other day, know the signs and symptoms of frostbite and hypothermia, which could cause some serious problems. If you have to use a generator, again, I mentioned power outages. Treat every down line as it's live. Call LG&E, or if you think it is a live wire, call 911 to get it responded to in an ample amount of time. If you're using a generator, do not put that generator in your garage or inside of your house. Carbon monoxide is one of the leading causes of death in a storm of this nature. And then a couple other tips is make sure that your garden hoses are unscrewed from the outside of your house and they're shut off from the inside of your house, and know where your main water shutoff is. These pipes are probably frozen because of the freezing temperatures that we've had. So when they start and begin to thaw out, it can cause some serious problems and some serious leaks. So make sure you and your family members know where that main water shutoff is in case you start to have leaks inside of your houses. And then with the great work of the snow team and what they're doing, they're also responsible for filling potholes, which storms like this can cause through our roadways. So one, make sure if you see a pothole, you call 311 and let us know about that so that we can get it over to the proper agency to come and fill those. But watch where you're driving to, because these can cause some serious damage to your cars. And then we could be expecting, like John Gordon from the Weather Center said, or from the Weather Service said, some flooding in the next couple of weeks with all this stuff melting. It can clog up drains in the streets and things like that. So there could be some pooling water. Make sure you're watching where you're driving. Obviously, don't drive into any kind of flooded roadways if it comes to that as well. All right, thank you.
I'm getting old and I forgot. In the event that the weather affects our garbage delivery, we'll be getting the word out. If you have Recycle Coach, we also give that. We put it on Facebook and we put it on Nextdoor. So in the event that there's a need to, like we had to do last week, to push the garbage delivery a day or two, that's what we're doing. So if you don't get it picked up when it's supposed to be, don't worry, we'll get to it before the end of the week.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, let's talk about vaccines. Obviously, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Good news, the vaccines have been coming and a lot of people are getting vaccinated and a lot of people have appointments for tomorrow. But out of abundance of caution for the safety of our residents, our volunteers, our client and staff, our LUVAX vaccination site at Broad Benarita will be closed tomorrow on Monday. But don't worry, everybody that's scheduled will still get their vaccine. And so we prepared for that possibility that we'd have to cancel or postpone appointments due to weather. So doses will be reserved for those who need to reschedule. So don't worry about that. Anybody whose appointment needs to be rescheduled will receive an email from Lou Health COVID Vaccines at louisvilleky.gov inviting them to reschedule according to their availability. So we haven't made a decision yet about Tuesday or later in the week. We'll announce those decisions tomorrow as we go through the week. And when we have a weather window to vaccinate, we'll do that. We'll try to double up some of these so you'll get your vaccine as soon as you possibly can. If you have an appointment, please show up. If you can't show up, please let us know that as well so we can get that vaccine to somebody else. All right, let's talk about some of our folks that are unsheltered, our homeless population. So in addition to the snow and ice, we're looking at lows in the teens and single digits over the next few days. I think, John Gordon, you said we're going to be as low as 7 degrees on Monday, Tuesday night. So whether it's 7 or whether it's 14, it's cold, okay? So that is obviously a serious concern for our homeless population. It's also complicated by the pandemic and the need to keep people socially distanced when they're sheltered. So as always, we're working with the Coalition for the Homeless and our other partners, working to do whatever we can to help our most vulnerable folks get through this bad weather. Operation White Flag is in effect. It goes into effect when the temperature or wind chill is below 35 degrees. Our Office for Resilience and Community Services has reached out to all shelters in Louisville, and we have been advised that they are not, let me repeat, they are not at maximum capacity. So there are beds available and space to provide daytime and evening shelter for all those who want it. Specifically, we have 2 shelters, Wayside and Salvation Army, operating day and overnight shelters. In addition, Healing Place and St. Vincent de Paul are operating overnight shelters. If by chance we do fill up existing shelters, we have the ability to expand existing contracts with Wayside on an emergency basis to ensure adequate overnight temporary shelter. No reservations are required. Here's some phone numbers to call to check on bed availability, particularly for overnight stays. Call the Coalition for Homeless single point of entry line to find out about shelter space. Their number is 502-637-2337. 502-637-2337. All this information is in the press release that's accompanying this availability here. The Salvation Army is also operating a healthy overnight shelter with 70-bed capacity for men and women at the Salvation Army campus on Brook Street. You can call the Salvation Army directly at 671-4904, 502-671-4904. The Healing Place at 1020 West Market Street also has a 48-bed capacity. To check on bed availability there, call 502-585-4848, 502-585-4848. We're also working with Wayside to ensure there is transportation available to shelters for those who need it. In order to access that transportation service, people can call 502-996-1888, 502-996-1888 for transportation help. And Nina Mosley from Wayside is available on the phone if we need any questions answered, as well as Tamika Laird, who's our Director of the Office of Resilience and Community Services. Okay, so let's make sure we're looking after those that are most vulnerable, whether it's our homeless population, it could be a single aging adult that you live around, somebody that you check in on regularly. Let's make sure that we do all of that. Last note, yes, it can be inconvenient when there's ice and when there's snow, but it can also be fun. All right, so if you want to get out and go sleigh riding, think about access to our parks. There are designated sledding hills from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. at our parks. And when you think about, is there enough snow or ice? If you can still see the grass above the snow, then it's not enough snow to sled. If it's covered up, get out there, dress warmly, take a safe sled or tray and go at it and have a big time. Designated sledding hills are at Cherokee Park, Barringer Hill, intersection of Alexander Road and Scenic Loop, Joe Creason Park by Trevilian Way across from the zoo, George Rogers Clark Park behind the playground near McKinley Avenue, and McNeely Lake Park near the Korean War Memorial, and Tyler Park on the Tyler Park side of the park, Tyler Park Drive side of the park, and then Charlie Vettner Park near Eastham Road entrance. Okay? All right, a lot of information to share, so we're now happy to take any questions from the media.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. The first two questions are from Paul Miles with 840 WHAS, and these questions are for John Gordon with the National Weather Service. Paul asks, will this be a wet, heavy snow? And what is the potential or concern that it could cause widespread power outages in Louisville and/or Kentucky? And then his other question is, at what point will the snow begin to melt?
Okay, so first one, let's do the rates. So normally we do a 10-to-1 ratio of 1 inch of liquids. This is going to be about a 12 to 15 inch ratio, so it's slightly drier than normal. But I don't think that's going to be a big player. I think what the big player, Paul, is if we get some elevated thunder. If we get elevated thunder, it doesn't matter if it's dry or wet. That's why I was giving the mayor was giving me a little jazz, is that up to 10 inches locally, isolated 12 because of that. So if you see thunder snow, not good at all. That's why you could get the 10 to 12. So the next part about the warm up, I think we're going to have temperatures as high as maybe 32 degrees by Sunday. So that will help to do some melting. But when you stop adding all this precipitation, even in the upper 20s, we did melt a little bit the other day. So I believe that, like Jody was saying, that late Sunday into next week, there will be some flooding with all this melt. It's going to melt, and it's going to increase the creeks, the streams, and the rivers. So any other for John while I'm here?
That is the last question in the chat.
Okay.
If media has any other questions, please place those in the chat.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us. City workers are fully mobilized, and we'll get after it as best as we can. So just please cooperate with us by being prepared, staying home, and giving our snow plows a wide berth, and then let the snow come down and get outside, clear your driveways, clear your sidewalk, go sledding. And then watch your health too. We don't want to lose anybody from overexerting themselves by clearing the snow. So be sure if somebody's watching after you. All right, Jess, anything else? No? Okay. Well, appreciate everybody coming in on Sundays, and everybody, happy Valentine's Day. Give somebody a kiss.